Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka BillyIndiana. Today I'm going to do an unboxing for a game that I got from Kickstarter quite a long time ago, but just now getting around to opening it up. And that is Trailblazer, the Arizona Trail by Mariposa Games, designed by Dan R. Rice III with art by Andrew Bosley. So if you'd like to see what comes in this Kickstarter version of this beautiful game, stay tuned. So as I mentioned, this Trailblazer, the Arizona Trail game, I received quite a while ago, just haven't had a chance to open it up. Really looking forward to playing it, but I had a lot less game playing time in the last several months. This game is a follow-up to Trailblazer, the John Muir Trail, which my wife and I both really enjoy, and so I've been excited to play this. I played an early prototype a couple of years ago at Dice Tower West and really loved it. Kind of reminded me of a Feld-style game in the way it plays and the different formats, kind of almost mini games around. I'm curious to see how it turned out after a couple more years of development, and but just really looking forward to it. So on the back it says, travel the spectacular 800-mile-long Arizona Trail as you take in the sights and sounds of the mountains, canyons, plateaus, and deserts, seeking out the amazing variety of wildlife, such as the roadrunner and the javelina, while avoiding the Gila monster. From Saguaro National Park, the Sonoran Desert, through the largest ponderosa pine forest on Earth, and into the Grand Canyon, you will interact with the incredible diversity of terrain, flora, and fauna found in State 48, aka Arizona. Players will call upon the legendary Jackalope and Lost Dutchman to aid in their travel. Turn order is determined for each round of travel and actions through a unique movement and observation mechanism. Players will need to acquire an interesting blend of key natural and personal resources to obtain advantages and create their own mural of Arizona wonders through efficient placement of polyomino depictions. After 8 weeks or rounds of travel, the player who builds the reserve of the most Arizona grit and superstition gold is declared the Trailblazer. All right, it's 1 to 4 players, 40 to 150 minutes, 4 and up. I do remember it being on the longer side of gameplay compared to the John Muir Trail, at least as I remember, but that was, again, an early prototype. So let's open this up and see. I went ahead and took the plastic off just to reduce glare, but looks like we've got some nice game tray style inserts here to hold materials. Let's see, what are some of these materials in this one? We've got just some wooden markers, it looks like here. We'll assume they might go there since that's where they're at. And then we've got some wooden cubes. Put those here. And here we've got some nice wooden meeples, animals, it looks like. Okay, yeah, so here we go. We got the jackalope. We've got our little hikers. Looks like trying to get them. There we go. See them from both sides there. There's some more hikers. Another hiker. A couple more hikers here. All right, and then we've got a cactus. We've got a javelina, I believe. We've got, what is this one? Not making out the art on this one. Hopefully someone can, I'm sure I'll be able to read it in the rules and then I'll probably see it and can't unsee it. But, and then we've got the roadrunner. I remember seeing roadrunners as a kid when we lived down in Texas. And then a tortoise. All right, so yeah, not sure if that's exactly where these things go, but you can see that we've got a nice tray and some pretty cool wooden features. And then we've got another tray here. It's like here we have some campsites, perhaps. So, some tents. Oh, and there's some animals on here too. See if we can shuffle them around so you can see different sides. Some screen printing on some of those pieces. Like there's some players and some horses and mountain pickaxes and a variety of things here. And then here it looks like just more of those little markers, but in the different player colors, I think. And we got kind of more of the oh, I forget the company that makes a lot of the tall Lacerda games. A little more of the pastel colors and things here instead of the traditional colors. And then we've got another just empty tray here where I'm assuming things are going to be placed here. It says we've got the upgrades and Arizona mural inserts, terrain packs, crossed arrows, Spirit of the Desert miniatures. And I believe I got all of those probably coming. Okay, here it shows, all right, nice, how we store things, what goes in the different player token storage tray. All right, so let's see, maybe that's going to be underneath. And then we've got the flora and fauna polyomino storage trays. Okay, so that's what those were. Oh, this may be, yeah, maybe this is the player storage tray. It looks a little bit more like that. And then it shows where the different pieces are going to go underneath. I like that. That's very helpful. And then how it stores back in the box. So terrific. I love it when you can have a clarity on that. And then here's the Nomad. I think this is the solo version here. Yep, solo components. And so we've got the rules for that laid out. And then just a nice player aid on the back. And then here we've got the base game rule book. This is a pretty hefty 20-page rule book, so nice showing the components and the layout for setup. Introduction and the goals, how to set up the player boards and terrain, all the different resources, and what, let's see, there's the Gila monster. Oh, okay, that's what that was. Now I can see the art on it. And I think we'll have the miniature in our version anyway. Once we get down to the bottom, here's our Lost Dutchman. Maybe that's what those little characters were. Passages, flora and fauna, Arizona mural, elevation ladder. Talked about the jackalope on that page. Spirit of the Desert, crossed arrows, gateway resources, state 48 cards. The recovery phase, end of journey, end of game, final scoring. And then, yeah, a nice reference with glossary and icon reference on the back. Very nice. And then here it looks like our polyomino tiles. So those will need to be punched. But you can see the art there on those. Just plain backs. And then here we've got some creature tiles that need to be punched, and some of them to have different kind of back styles there. Some more creatures. These are our polyominoes to try to make our mural. So those look nice, plain back. Looks like here's the player board, and underneath I've gone ahead and laid out the player mat. This is a very large player board. Let's see if we can lay it out here. Won't be able to see it all in one shot, but hopefully you can get the feel for it. It's actually bigger than the neoprene mat. But yeah, very beautiful art. Lots of different places. This is the crossed arrow part down here on the bottom right. Let's see if I can get that over here. There we go. And then we've got, I forget what this track here is called. Got another track here, and then we've got the scoring tracker on the outside, and at least in the prototype version, I assume it's in the final version as well, the track scoring is a little bit like Raja of the Ganges or Ark Nova, for those that are more familiar with that game. And so you got two movements going, and it's when they cross that has a trigger, and then here we've got some player board, I think, where the polyominoes go, if I'm not mistaken, where you're going to be trying to build out the mural. Two-sided. We got the achievement chart here. We've got a couple other, oh, this is the crossed arrow thing, which maybe it's just to put over if you have, maybe for an alternate version or to mix it up. Another version of that track in the bottom left, maybe again just to give variety. And then here are the player boards. Unfortunately, mine look a little bit warped. I don't know if that's because of the way they were packed. It was a little bit interesting in the packing, maybe, and I wish maybe not. I would have opened it sooner instead of leaving it sit there on the shelf for so long. We've moved and all kinds of stuff, but they don't look too bad. Maybe I can put it between some games for a few days and see if that flattens them out. That doesn't seem like it's going to affect gameplay at all. All right, and then here are some of those pieces. So here's our cactus miniature. And here's our Gila monster miniature. Very cool. And here's our jackalope miniature. Very nice. Get that back in there. And here we've got our desert tortoise. Cute little guy. And let's see what's here. This is the javelina, looks like, the wild boar. Very cool. I wasn't paying attention when I pulled that. There we go. Pay more attention here. And then the roadrunner. Very nice. All right, and then over here we've got our main cards with the big art on it. Let's open up. We won't look through every card because it looks like there's dozens and dozens of these cards, a big, thick stack. But we've got all these different locations. There's Santa Rita Mountains. Just lay them here now. Another one for Santa Rita Mountains. And another one. So just different art. It looks like maybe some different requirements at the bottom. I don't recall whether there's several of the same type. Yeah, it's been a couple years since I played, and like I said, I'm sure there were changes made, but there's Segura National Park. So it looks like there's multiples of each type. So here's, I don't know how you pronounce that, Huachuca, Huachuca, Oracle Ridge. Looks like got a big sandstorm going on there. Rincon Mountains, Santa Catalina Mountains, Tortilla Mountains, Superstition Wilderness, Theodore Roosevelt Lake, Alamo Canyon. So since they're in threes, I can maybe go through the whole art pack. Gila River Canyon, Four Peaks. There we go. It's a little bit different art on some of these. So, this is making a picture there, maybe. Yeah, that's definitely different for those Four Peaks. Maybe the art is different. Maybe that is going to make some sort of a panorama. Mogollon Rim. So I won't show you all of them, just give you a quick glimpse. Mormon Lake. Mazatzal Divide. Blue Ridge. Yeah, definitely some different art on that one. San Francisco Peaks. Coconino Rim. I'm not sure how you pronounce any of these places. Jacob Lake. Buckskin Mountain. Grand Canyon. I actually have been to the Grand. This is the North Rim. And then Grand Canyon on the South Rim. We just went to the south side. Oh, and Grand Canyon on the Inner Gorge. And then the Kaibab Plateau. So yeah, I'm curious to get into the rules again and remind myself how to play and see maybe some changes. And yeah, there may have even been that different pictures before, and I just don't remember because it's been a couple of years. And then here it looks like we've got some player aids and some interesting little cards here. Just looks like more. I don't think those are going to be, well, they're not fitting in there without me taking them out. So let me go ahead and open them up. This one just looks like maybe a little postcard type thank you thing from Mariposa Games. There's a couple cards in here. It says join, volunteer, and donate. Arizona Trail. So actually from the Arizona Trail, and then Mariposa Games. Little card, thank you card. So those are nice. See if those do fit in there once we take this little package off. That makes me think that, I don't know necessarily why you'd want to sleeve these. It would, I think, hide the art a little bit with reflection and glare. And I don't think you'd be really shuffling any of these things, especially not these just player aids, but and those little postcards for sure not. So, but it doesn't look like they would fit if you're just like an avid sleever and you sleeve everything. It doesn't look like they would fit with sleeves, although maybe if your sleeves are really tight, because that's a good snug fit. All right, then we've got some little circle markers here. Just dump those in there for now, and we'll figure it out later. And then here we've got a couple of packs of cards. Okay, this one is solo goal cards. And then here's some other goal cards, looks like. It says 8th, 4th, 1st. All right, so yeah, these are going to be different goals you're trying to achieve during the game. See, I don't know if those go there. That's where they were stacked. And then the solo goals. think maybe these might go somewhere else, but again, looks like there's a good instructions in that rule book. So look at those. These are the solo goal cards. Maybe I'll just set these here for now. Let's get this small one out here, smaller deck here. The Nomad, okay, this is solo as well. So those were solo goal cards, and these are the Nomad game cards. I guess maybe controlling a bot player. I don't know. We didn't do anything about the solo game. I don't even know if it was developed at the time when we were playing it. But yeah, those are the Nomad cards. So maybe put those together since they're all solo play, I think. And then here are some other cards with some different kinds of flora and fauna, I think. Maybe these might be the ones. There were cards that went on the left and the right, and then it helped you figure out which polyominoes you were going to be taking, I believe. My memory serves correctly. So here we've got some beautiful art on the back. These have that scenery here with the deer in the meadow. Really beautiful. And then, yeah, here's different kind of animals. Incredible art. Just kind of skim through a few. We saw an elk across the street from our house the other day out the office window. All right, so those are the fauna cards. And then looks like these probably are the flora cards with that background. We got our different plants. Again, gorgeous art. And it's interesting because just knowing some of Andrew Bosley's art, it looks a little different. You can kind of see it's his art, but then it's not like the Everdell. It's a little bit more realistic, or quite a bit more realistic and less kind of cartoony. So, but beautiful nonetheless. And then I don't remember what these cards are, but they have this back. And yeah, oh, these are events. Looks like heat wave, monsoon, hailstorm, partly cloudy, cold snap, monsoon, sunshine, dust storm, snowstorm. So those are going to be different kind of events happening, it looks like. And then we've got a couple other cards here. This one has those special creatures. You see the javelina right here on the top. So there's several javelina cards and gives you some instructions or where to play things, and then our Roadrunner cards, playing cubes there to mark off probably uses of those. I think these creatures do give you special abilities when you use them, if I remember right. Desert Tortoise. And then, of course, the Jackalope. All right. And then this last little pack here. Looks like these might be supplies. We got an Arizona. How does this one open? Not seen one like this before. Oh, there it is. It just was hidden. It looked like it was didn't have an edge to it. All right. So these have the little hiking sign: Arizona, Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, Tucson, Saguaro National Park. So that's the back of the cards. And then on the front, we've got Superior, Pine, Strawberry, Sonoita, Patagonia, Jacob Lake. So these are the different places, I think. Tucson, Tonto Basin, Mammoth, Globe, Oracle, Flagstaff. Yeah, so those are probably places along the trail. All right. So again, not exactly sure how to pack all this back in yet, but there look like there's some good instructions in the rule book. So looking forward to organizing this and getting it all back into the box like it's supposed to be, and definitely looking forward to getting it to the table, refreshing my memory on the rules and learning anything that's changed since that prototype version. But really excited for this one. Got to meet Dan Rice when we were at that Dice Tower West, and just seemed like a really nice gentleman, really clever game designer. So really looking forward to this one. If you have any questions, hopefully I'll get to play this one soon, but it might not be till summer. Got kind of an busy end of the school year planned, but yeah, definitely want to get this one to the table as soon as possible. So, but if you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. If you've played this game, tell me what I have to look forward to in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. This is BillyIndiana signing off.